Join the team.
Hey team, this is the McGuire Review, and we are going to take a look at some really cool products that I have recently discovered at a local convention, and you may not have ever heard of this company before. I would say they are probably considered fairly small when you compare them to some of the other big players in the industry that are making products like these. The name of the company is Dirty Woods, and they do have a bear as the logo, so I thought that was well, a bear with antlers. You don't really have antlers, but I thought that was pretty cool, and I was very impressed with the actual products that they had, and I purchased quite a few. They did send to me a couple of them, but all of these here I did purchase from them originally, and was just so impressed with what you get for the price point. I think what it really comes down to is companies out there that make sort of this product that it's right in the sweet spot of quality with design and price. And that's where I think Dirty Woods has done such a good job, and I've been just so impressed with these that I wanted to make a video and bring it to the team for a lot of different people to take a look at and see if you're interested. So you can find more on Dirty Woods if you go to, they have an Etsy shop, and if you're interested in this stuff, the channel has already got a discount code. If you just use the code of McGuire on their Etsy shop, you will get 10% off, and I believe shipping is always free, which is a nice perk. So it's just shop/Dirty Woods. And then you can also find them on Facebook at Dirty Woods. Okay? So that's where you can find them. I'll have links to everything in the description below, where you can check those things out to both the shop and the Facebook page. So let's go ahead and start with these awesome little RPG tabletop cases here. And they have them in a variety of different styles. I have quite a few different ones here. They do kind of this enamel work and some engraving on the front of these. They do come in a few different woods. They're not going to offer tons of different woods, but they do have a handful of different woods like cedar and ash and oak. Those are some of the woods that they do have. This one here is one of the oak ones I really love. It's got the Da Vinci wing. It's kind of might be a little bit hard to see because it's a very dark sort of engraving and a dark oak wood. Actually got Leonardo da Vinci in his signature here, as well as that Da Vinci wing, which, you know, is just, it's so cool. Just the design and how that looks. I love how it sits on that wood, and it kind of has that darker look. We're going to get into that one here in a second. And then some of these other ones here, you'll see these three are actually made of cedar. So this is their cedar wood, and obviously every piece of wood is different and unique, so each one of these cedars do look a little bit different. So you get a little bit of variation there. And then this is their cherry wood, and it's the cherry koi here on the cherry wood. This is actually a dice tower. These are the RPG tabletop cases. This is a mini dice tower. We're going to look at each one of them. So right off the bat, you get really nice engravings that are done on the front of these. Very high quality engravings. This is not cheaply done or sloppy in any way. It's a very high quality engraving. And then it's filled in with different types of enamels. Here you can see on the rainbow koi, which is just awesome the way they've done this with all the different colors. This is one of their most popular cases, I would say, because of that sort of the detail that goes into those rainbow designs there on that koi. I believe this is the only one that they do in a rainbow is the koi. I could be wrong. And they do have this same one in obviously different. This one's more red and yellow. They have one that comes in like a green and sort of a metallic gray that's really cool looking. What's nice about these is not only do you have the nice high poppy color, but some of them glow in the dark, as this sort of Lord of the Rings type look here is what, you know, the tree as well as the writing that goes around the side, or all the way around the tree. This one's actually done in a glow in the dark. So if I was to turn off the lights, this would glow a nice bright green, which is really cool. You know, you can get your glow-in-the-dark dice and various things. I don't know how many people game in the dark, but, you know, if you were gaming and you had some black lights, or if there was, you know, the lights were low, this would have a little bit of a glow to it. If it's exposed to some light, obviously, it would have a little bit of a glow to it when the lights go out. And that is a really cool and unique feature. It's why I really liked this particular box. We'll find here on this one, it's just a single colored fill-in enamel, and this one's actually got a little bit of a sparkle to it. It's just a simple green D20, where on the smaller, this is a very unique product. Can't wait to get to this. On the smaller here, we've got the purple D20, and they do have a little bit of a glittery effect that's to that enamel as well. So it really does catch the light and look very appealing. Okay, let's get into one of the boxes here. They're all going to be pretty much the exact same design, I believe, for all the ones that I got. Now, they do have different designs you can get, whether you want the dice and the miniature, or you just want an open pocket for cards and a miniature. There are some different inset, cuts that you can get. I'm pretty sure all of mine are exactly the same, though, because this is, for me, was the most functional setup and design, because I'm not really going to have any cards. I really wanted it for the dice as well as for miniatures. One of the things that I really like about these particular cases, it's got a perfect form factor size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It travels well. They're light, especially the cedar ones are very light. Have very high quality cuts. So everything that is routed out and cut all the way around is a very clean, smooth, high quality. I haven't had any problems in any of the ones that I purchased. And the best part, team, these come at a awesome price point. I think you're going to be very surprised what the price point of these RPG tabletop cases are when you go check them out. They come at a very low price point, in my opinion, for the quality, the wood quality, the actual craftsmanship of the build, the functionality, the form factor, the design. This is why I love Dirty Woods and the products that I've got here, is that they've kind of nailed it in all of those categories, and they've produced a product that fits nicely in the market, and even a market that's hard to compete in, where the quality is there, the price point is there, the form factor and the function and design is there. It's all there. And when you put a lower price tag on it than what most are charging for things like this, it's going to be very attractive. And I have not been disappointed in any way. So this is the insert. You can see that a full set of your tabletop gaming dice is going to be able to fit there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots for dice. And they do have a nice little felt at the bottom. You can customize that color of the felt. They have blues, greens, blacks, red. They even have a purple that we're going to see, which is really cool and unique. But nonetheless, you can customize all of those different felt colors inside, which is cool. With the blue here, this is my son's box. Blue's one of his favorite colors. And he's got his little miniature here, his little warrior. We play D&D and go through our campaigns. So this is his box. And it is nice because every single box does dub as a rolling tray as well. So let's say, you're looking for a case to carry your stuff. A lot of these cases that are designed like this, they don't also have rolling trays in the top. That is something that is missing from a lot of the designs of these style of cases. Some do have them. Don't get me wrong. This one, however, is designed where the top also dubs as a rolling tray. So you see it's cut out there. It's got another piece of nice felt padding at the bottom. And now in one unit, you have your rolling tray as well as your little holder here for your dice and your miniatures. So you got kind of all of that in one. You show up to your RPG session and you're playing, and you got everything that you need. Okay? So that is the case. We'll pop open these real quick just to show how they're the same, but a little bit of variation here. Here's my daughter's. She's actually got 2 full-size miniatures, and that's another thing I will call out. You can fit 2 miniatures into this spot, not just one. It's big enough for 2. She's got 2 of the D&D sized, maybe a little bit bigger than the D&D sized miniatures that she has put in there. One of them was kind of a paint and take, and the other one is from Wardlings. Both of those are in there fully protected. And she has quite a few dice that she's packed in here. Even some of these holes, she's packed in multiple small dice instead of just one die within that space. And you will see they are big enough to handle the larger. This is one of these larger metal D20s. So this, the space is a good size space to be able to handle a larger style die. Okay, so that's good. Oh, this is a cool one. It's a die, a D6 inside of a D6. You need to roll 2 D6. I don't know where she got this, but this is super cool. You can see her favorite color was green, so went with the green inside of there for that one, as well as the green on the outside. So take a look at this one really quick. This one is the Da Vinci now, very similar. This one, however, does have the 4 earth magnets. Again, they do have different ones, but I just preferred sort of this design for holding 1 to 2 miniatures as well as the dice. All right, so you can see that. Absolutely love this piece. I love the dark wood that's on it. And then this is the Rainbow Koi, which has a green, and this kind of shows the customization levels. This has got a green interior, so I went with that color felt, sort of for where the dice go, kind of representing kind of the pond, right? And then on the top is a really cool purple custom dice tray. I mean, how often do you see a purple dice tray? Really? That's awesome. And they even have their own dice. These did come with this set. Some dirty wood dice. They got the bear with the antler kind of logo on one side for the 1, not the crit, and then it's just a standard D6. They're pretty cool. Kind of got some fleck to them and glittery, sort of bluish green. They're really nice dice, actually. So they did send these with this set here. Pretty cool. Got your purple rolling tray. And that's just to show you kind of the customization level that you can do. We got 4 rare earth magnets there on that one. So how cool would it be to show up to your game night and have, you know, the Rainbow Koi, and you got the green interior, and you got the purple dice tray. It's just something very unique and very customizable. Okay? So that is the Dirty Woods RPG tabletop cases. And now we're going to take a look at the dice towers. So they also produce dice towers. There's one here. It does follow the exact same form factor as a case. Looking for kind of that symmetry or that symmetrical look, you do have the exact size, same size as your cases. That tower is going to follow the same thing. And you can see there it's a very small form factor. You can open it up. You can see there the track that is inside. So that's what it's going to look like as the dice go through that track. Inside of these little ones are a little bit different. I'll show you that here in a second. And then they do have the 4 rare earth magnets. These are obviously a little chunkier, so we'll put that together. And then they do have the Dirty Woods logo engraved in the back, which all of these do. They all have the Dirty Woods kind of engraved in the back of their piece. Now you may ask, you know, what is this little cutout right here? Well, this little cutout is for your actual rolling trays. So let's say that you picked up an adventure case as well as a dice tower. Well, you can set that dice tower right inside of your adventure case, and that's what that little cutout there is for. And now when you roll your dice, you're going right into a rolling tray. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that. Let's say that you just wanted to get the dice tower and you didn't want to get a case. You just need a dice tower. Well, because of the way this notch is made, it's going to be able to fit on, let's say you already had a tray, it's going to be able to fit on anything that would at least be no higher than that from the ground. So you could hook that onto other trays. As long as that lip is under an inch that would be on that dice tray, you'll be able to hook this on the side of it. So it does have, you know, multi-purpose there. Or if you don't even have a dice tray, you just can have your dice tower, and it just rolls the dice out into the table, which a lot of people do as well. There's no problem with that. Okay, you can see there kind of the force of this dice coming out, the sound. I know people like to hear that. Okay, so it's got a good sound. It's got a good look. I really like the design and the form factor on these as well. They're not too big. They're not too clunky. They get the job done, and they have the function of strapping onto either their cases or another case, obviously, if it's got a pretty low lip on it. Okay, so that's the dice towers. Pretty cool. Here's the last thing that we're going to take a look at, which is their mini dice towers. And I thought this was a really innovative product, something that was really cool. Caught my eye. I had to have one of these because I don't know how many times, you know, playing D100 or any type of game like that, you're traveling, you're playing solo style. Now you can take a little tiny dice tower to roll for the dungeon or a monster or whatever. I have not seen these before. Maybe it's just me and there are things like this, you know, out there. I have not personally seen anything like this with this level of quality. And I just thought it was so awesome and had to get one. So I got it with the purple D20 there on the front. And they do have these in multiple different styles, just like the cases. This just happened to be the one they had there in the stand at the convention. Now the difference is when this opens up, this one's only got 2 rare earth magnets there versus the 4 that we saw on the bigger one, obviously, because it's just not required because of the weight of the wood and the size of this. But this one's a little bit different. It does have this little track here that's cut out, and each one of these smaller sets do come with a free set of RPG mini dice. You can get these in various colors. They got blue and yellow and red, I believe, if I remember correctly. I thought the red looked pretty cool in these smaller ones, but it's nice because you can put the dice right there and hold it securely inside of the tower when you're traveling, and they're not going to fall out and go anywhere. And they're specifically designed for this smaller. So if you're going to use dice in the smaller one, you obviously cannot use the big ones. They're not going to work. It's not going to fit. They do have to be a smaller die that is this style. I have had luck with ones that are just a tad bigger than this. That's not a problem. And then obviously smaller will work. I do have some dice that are actually smaller than this, but this is kind of your standard smaller RPG die size. Again, tiny bit bigger is still going to be fine. And we'll go ahead and put those in, let them roll through. No problem. Okay. Pretty cool. So let's now this one does not have obviously the latch to go onto a tray because it's so small. It doesn't really have the ability to cut that in. So it doesn't have that. But again, it's pretty small. You're right on the table. You could put something in front of it, or your hand, or you could actually just hold it over a tray if you really wanted to. You could do that, or just let it sort of come out on the table, which I think what probably most people will do. That's what I do. I just roll them and let them come out on the table. It doesn't really have a lot of travel distance within that small thing. It does snake around, right? But it doesn't really have a lot of travel distance to build up a ton of speed. So it shouldn't go that far once it comes out of it. It's only traveling probably 8-9 inches. Now that one went a little farther, but that one did too. Now that one did. Now, so that's the mini dice tower the Dirty Woods offers. We'll put the little red dice. I love the look of these little red dice. They kind of got this translucent, kind of glassy red look to them. They're pretty cool little dice. All right. That's everything, team. That is the Dirty Woods products that I have come about. Now, they do offer different things as well. If you look at their card here, it says custom signs and boxes. So they do make signs as well. They make other products outside of just these RPG tabletop cases and dice towers. These are just the things that I wanted and I was interested in and I purchased. So if you're looking for other types of things that they make, you can find those on their Etsy shop. And don't forget, if you want to get one of these, and I highly suggest that you do, if this is like a great first one. If you're really looking to get something like this, you've never really plunged into it, you've thought, they're too expensive, they generally cost like $80 or $100, I think you're going to be very surprised on what these cost, and you're getting just an awesome form factor, design, and functionality to these as well. It really is the whole package for a very, very fair price point. So I highly suggest it if you're looking for something like this to try one of these out. If it's your first one, it's a no-brainer. Check out their site. Don't forget about the code. 10% off if you use McGuire in their coupon code on the Etsy site. You'll find that on the description below. Great job, Dirty Woods. Hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time, Bear. Let's roll!